being here. And it's always good to sit under the Word. It's, it's one thing to sing songs, and it's another thing to live it out in our lives. That's right. I had a pastor one time that said one of the greatest places we can lie to God is when we're singing. How do I show I love the Lord? By, oh, how I love Jesus, oh, I love Jesus. Singing about it? No, it's having His command that keeps Him. This is one of love. We sing, I surrender all, and sometimes we won't even surrender the parking spot. Surrender all. That was written by a guy in Sharon. That was a music teacher in the public school here in Sharon. The Lord was dealing with him about surrendering it all. He felt the Lord calling him into full-time ministry. Now, the Lord doesn't, for the most part, doesn't call us into full-time ministry, but He does call us into full-time. It's not part-time position. But this man went on to even Bible studies not far from our house. He was Palestine, Ohio. I looked at that and said, wow. And then he went and was influenced by a guy named Billy Graham. And J.W. for benefit of the name there. It's a powerful testimony that I surrender all, and that's he surrendered all. That's what the Lord is looking for. As Christians, we all believe in the cross of Christ and say the cross, but somehow when Jesus turns around to us and He says, I want you to deny yourself, pick up your cross and follow me, that's a different story. You see, the cross is death. He wants me to surrender it all, that He may give us His all. Perfect submission, all is at rest. We sing these songs. That was written by Fanny Crosby. She was blinded by a charlatan acting as a doctor when she was young. They put something over her eyes and they burned her eyes out. And she wrote so many thousands of hymns. And a great woman of God who was great influence in his life was Fanny Crosby. And he said later on, he said, what do you think about this charlatan that did that? She said, well, he might have meant it for evil, but God meant it for good. She never saw the second cause, but she saw God in it all. She said, if I would have seen, it may have taken my vision away from the Lord. So seeing the Lord in everything. But, let's start out in Ezekiel 33. Ezekiel 33. I shared this at the jail this past week, just starting out here. In Ezekiel 33, the man of God, he was a prophet. I asked the guys in jail, when you come here, it can be just like a garden club if we're not careful. We come and we gather together here and we talk about the newest polls, we talk about getting a piece of ground, we talk about the latest and greatest about the seeds and whether it's organic seeds or we talk about, but we never go out as a group and buy a piece of ground. We never apply it. We never do anything. We just talk about it. So every time people come to church, we talk about the Lord, we talk about it. But there's only a hearing involved. There's never an application. But anytime you see the word of Scripture here, it's really hearken. The word hearken means to hear and obey. You can come to church every day of the week. You can pray every day. You could be like James had the camel knees. You could go to church every day. You could do all kinds of nice things. But if you're not obeying the Lord in your life, obedience is better than sacrifice. When they took the promised land in the Old Testament, they could get all these things here, but obedience brought them into the promised land. This is the promised land the Lord wants to bring us into. Ezekiel, how would you like to... He communicated to the man of God here, you're going before these people here, they're going to be acting like they're my people. They're going to sit in front of you, but they're talking about you, and they're not going to listen to what you say. They're not going to do it. They're going to look at you like an entertainer. And I'm going to read it from the Living Bible. I like it in chapter 33 of Ezekiel, verse 30. It says, son of dust. I like that. In most translations, they say son of man. But see, he's after bringing me into dust. Bringing me down, humbling me. The word humiliate comes from the Latin word humus, meaning dirt. The way up with God, He was trying to bring us down lower and lower. That's a very high place in the Lord. have no intention of doing what I tell them to do. This is God communicating this to Ezekiel before he even comes to the church business. They talk very sweetly about loving the Lord. Oh, I love Jesus, and all these songs. But their hearts are loving their money, going in a different direction. You are very entertaining to them. Like someone who sings a lovely song with a beautiful voice that plays well on an instrument. They hear what you say, but they don't pay any attention to it. Now, I remember down in jail last year, the guys were playing the guitar, and the leader said, stop. He told the guy playing the guitar to stop in the middle of the song. He said, all the guys, he says, you're focused on, you're being entertained by it. This is to bring you into a relationship with the Lord. This singing, this preaching, this teach your heart voice towards the Lord. He says, this isn't entertaining. And he wasn't condemning them. We all get sidetracked. He says, but that's what they were looking at. Oh, here comes a man of God. He's an entertainer. He says, they were just like, you were like a beautiful, he says, you're going to be like a musical instrument to them that plays good. There's one that sings a beautiful song. They're just being entertained. They have no intentions on doing it. God had a problem in the Bible. His problem was not with the unbelieving world. His problem was with his own people. They wouldn't do what it says. I think it's as simple as just what you were saying. It's trust and obey. There's no other way to be truly blessed and happy but to trust and obey. It's obedient. It's following Him. Where He sends, we will go. What He says, we will do. So it's obeying Him, obeying His voice. It's a couple times. Last week there was a lady at work, a guard I was talking to there, and I had overheard her conversation with one of her friends, and she's not been sleeping well. As I left, I said, we'll see you later. I talked to her maybe 5 more minutes, and I left. I was walking down the hall, and the Holy Spirit said, go pray for her about sleeping tonight. Okay? So I turned around, I went back, and I said, hey, come here a minute. I want to pray for you. Before she started crying. See, He communicates to us. He walks with me and talks with me along life's narrow way. He is. He's not a dead God that's out in the Middle East somewhere, in heaven somewhere. He communicates to me. He communicates to you. But see, we got to shut things out of our life. I told you about the 5 senses we have. I heard if you lose your eyesight, your hearing gets better. That's in the spiritual, I believe, also. You lose your vision for this life, your hearing gets more keener. You're able to hear better. I was teaching in Genesis 24 about Abraham. He was converted. God had done a lot of work in his heart. He fell, he kept building altars. God had done the work in his life. He's sending his servant out to get the woman, not a woman, to get the woman. You're talking about a blind date. This wasn't a blind date, this was a blind marriage. Go get the one, put your hand underneath my thigh, make a vow that you're going to follow through, and if she doesn't want to come back, that's okay. And he basically, I'm paraphrasing this one, can I take your good-looking son Isaac with me so maybe she can see he's worth coming back for? No. You tell him, you're being sent, the Lord is calling her. If she doesn't want to come, it's a personal choice. You're out of the vow. So he gets down there and he prays, Lord, for my master, he gets on his trip, he's not sure. He's led by the Lord, led by the Spirit of God. Are you a Christian who's led by his flesh? Are you a Christian that's led by the Spirit of God? Are you a Christian that's walking in darkness like Saul did? Christians can walk in darkness. It said, he that saith he's in the light hates his brother. He's in the darkness even until now. Are you a Christian who's loving your own life? Or are you a Christian that's loving the Lord first? Are you a Christian who's abiding in the Lord? Or are you one who's departing with the evil heart of unbelief and departing from the living God? Much more in the Bible than being saved or unsaved. You study the Bible to see thyself approved. So there's much more going on. Are you walking within Christian? Are you alive Christian? Or have you died along the way? The wages of sin are death. All that Shimei had to do after throwing the stone to David was staying within the boundary lines. But said, that's good for me. That's fine. It's wrong, I'm all his servants run away across the Kinder Valley, and he jumps on a donkey, whatever it was, he went across there. When he got back, word had it, he disobeyed. He went outside the boundary like Elimelech in the book of Ruth. He wasn't an unbeliever. He was a godly man. He was married to Naomi, and it says there, he went outside the land. There was no bread in Israel. He went out, he quit abiding. He went outside the land looking for bread, and he stayed there. It brought death and loss and destruction to him. Outside the land of God and his family. The Christian, are we walking in him? Where are we at? I told the story in Sunday class years ago about about Rebecca heard the word of God, and she responded to that. She's coming on the camels. Never seen a man, but she's following the will of God. She's obedient. She's coming, never sees this man, and the man is looking up into heaven there. And that's a scriptural principle too. The man, God brings a woman to the man. He's not out to be looking out, not out to singers' clubs, not out to, Boaz is before the Lord. Isaac in that book, I love that story. Don't get me started on that story. But Isaac, at the end of that story, he's meditating in the field, looking to the Lord. He's not out trying to find a mate. And God brings a woman right to the man. Three examples of scripture. God made Adam. He brought Eve to the man. He made Eve over here. Adam, there was no suitable helpmaker found. He wasn't looking. God brought Eve to the man. Dating's never found in the Bible, Mike. Nowhere. You're told that if you're not married, seek not a wife. What's the matter with seeking a wife? Because you're to be seeking the Lord first. Seek ye first his kingdom and his righteousness. You'll have everything you need in life. That's all inclusive. Ruth. Boaz. Boaz is a godly man. He could have bought any woman, so to speak. He's wealthy. He's wealthy more in the Lord, though. And he's loving the Lord, and God brings Ruth back right to his feet. And then in that story, Genesis 24, God brings Rebecca right to Isaac, and he's comforted. God knows what he's doing. I'm glad the Bible says, what's your rights? He said, I was afraid God was going to bring me some old to marry, and I'd marry her. God knows what you need more than you do. God brought the woman right to the man. And God, in that case, in that Bible scripture, that brought the woman right to the man. See, we got things backwards. We got the horse before the cart, or the cart before the horse. God's ways, you put the horse out in front and you follow his ways. But I was teaching this in a Sunday school class years ago, and this girl was living with somebody, and the word of God hit her, and she obeyed. And she met me after class with her parents, and she broke it off with her living boyfriend, and she started moving towards the Lord. This word, are we really paying attention? He communicates to us. Are we listening? So it's, we can just be going through the motions. But we actually had a week at camp with the foster kids at our church, and they actually asked me to be in a skit. And, where he says I will go, what you say I will do. And, at camp, when we're on a mission trip, whatever it is, Glenn, you're going to speak here, you're going to do this. There isn't no's not in your vocabulary. I need you to be in that play. Okay. I need you to do it. Okay. Your life's not your own. I surrender all. It's really should be, Lord, help me to surrender all. And it's a daily surrender. I die daily, Paul says. If I do that, I'm not going to have any life. You see, that's when we're wrong. This life is given in Christ. You're never more alive than when you're given. You see, our nature in this world, our human nature is take, me, myself, and I. The Lord says, give, and you will receive. I know I've received from the Lord and giving over the years. I mean, giving. I don't mean money. I guess that's involved. That's lower level, so to speak, the giving of your life. But he can give you his life in return. But the camp skit was kind of like, well, this young girl, a lot of them got saved in the camp, and they said, well, they put a girl there, and they said, let me walk by, and you can be like a camp counselor. So I walked by, and I said, well, Caitlin, it's good that I heard you got accepted Jesus as your Savior. I did the same thing when I was 13 years old. You look happy, you look joyful. I'm really proud of you. You read your Bible, yeah, but you praying. She she's all bubbly and excited, and I said, well, see a youth group, and I leave, and somebody else comes by, but she's holding unforgiveness in her back, and a sign of unforgiveness in her back, and I said, hey, what's that behind your back? And she goes, oh, nothing. I said, you sure? No, it ain't nothing. So I leave, and everybody comes by, I said, what's that behind your back? No, nothing. But she begins to touch that chair. It's called sin, a big sin word. And she kept getting stuck in that chair. Every time she touched her foot, she tried to sit on it, but she was stuck. And everybody, Mr. Intellectual, came by and tried to tell her, you got to think your way out. You got to think your way out. And all the people was coming by, and I came back a second time, and I said, what happened, Caitlin? You were so joyful. What happened? You look sad. What's going on here? You're stuck. I heard what that man was just saying about intellect and, get you out of that chair. Only Jesus is the answer. You're stuck. You have to look to Him for forgiveness. Unforgiveness is in Christ. Only He can free you. Well, what happened? What happened? And I said, would you like to pray this prayer about asking the Lord to forgive you for your unforgiveness? And so I prayed with her, and Jesus came out with me right behind me. He played the part, and I'm standing on this side here. As I'm telling her, I said, can I pray for you? As I was praying for her, a couple-minute prayer, he's taking her bondages away. He's taking her hands off the chair, her feet off the chair, and she's free. And I say, amen. I said, wow, you're joyful again. It's good. You look good. Keep looking to Jesus. Guard your heart. The best thing you can put in your garden is your footprint. I remember hearing that years ago, that stuck to me. Because you're a farmer, you're watching over for weeds. You're watching over. I told you one time I pulled the garlic out, and I was going to plant a second crop of zucchini in, but the weeds took over. Solomon says you were in charge of the vineyard, but you neglected your own garden. See, this idea about forgiveness, he started out. Once we're saved, and we begin to walk this walk, we begin this journey, the basis of me continually being forgiven is no longer on the atonement what Christ did. See, I'm born again, I'm saved. So you're walking this walk out in a very dangerous prayer. Jesus talks in Matthew chapter 6. He says, talks about forgiveness. At the end of that Lord's Prayer, it's the disciples' prayer, he could have named anything there in Matthew chapter 6. But he hides things in parables many times. But this subject, he doesn't want anybody to miss this particular subject. It is paramount. It is the secret of Paul's becoming and doing. I exercise myself to be right before God and all men. It is paramount, monumental in the Christian life. Once we get saved, then that wordless book. It's not a period, it's a comma. Overseas, that wordless book where you open it doesn't say any words, but it's just got 3 pages. You open it up, and it's got people use it for evangelism. You open it up, it's got a black heart. This is your heart when you're born. Or red, next second page is red, you flip it over, this is Christ. He came, He shed His blood for you. And when you receive that in your life, He cleanses you, and the third page of that is white. But the only problem with that is that's good for evangelistic toll. But the only problem is as you continue your journey there, you must guard your heart above all things. Even Solomon didn't take his own advice in Proverbs 4. He said, above all things, guard your heart. I told you at the Lester household in the late 60s, my father would give us a list of things to do chores. But he'd always say, but above everything else, make sure you don't eat them chairs or underneath the steps or whatever. It's a viable thing in the Christian life, our heart. It's our heart. We must guard our heart with all diligence. It's like a prison guard. You're watching over it. You're keeping your heart right with them. Jesus could have talked about many things in the Lord's Prayer there. He could have talked about the kingdom or maybe emphasized more on taking the Lord's name in vain, whatever it is. But, he hit that back again on if you forgive others, God's going to forgive you. And he says, if you don't forgive others, God's not going to forgive you. So when you forgive others as a Christian, you free someone. You free yourself. But I've seen this over the years, and the world dog eat dog. I mean, they hate and bitterness, and people don't want to talk to one another. And I believe in the Christian life, I've seen broken relationships. People leave the church villain in the book of Esther. And he was moving up the ladder, and every time he saw that Mordecai, I hate that Mordecai. I hated the flesh, always persecuted the spirit. Are you a Christian who's walking after the flesh? Are you a Christian that's being led by God's Spirit? The flesh always persecuted those after the Spirit. That's why Abram and Lot had to separate. There was a strife going on there. There was those who were following the spirit of Lot who was after the flesh. There would always be a strife going on with those who are after the Spirit. So following him. So Haman in that story there, he hates every time he sees Mordecai. He's moving up the ladder now. He's going good. Seeing the offense, he's moving up the ladder. But every time he says, I got no pleasure when I see that Mordecai. And the story goes on, and Esther, God's working all things out behind the scenes there. But his family said, I tell you what, build a gallows. Hang him on it. You got the power. He says, oh, that's good. So he hung a gallows. Hung it all up there, had it built and everything, and who ended up going on it himself. You stick a sword in somebody else and it comes right back. You drink poison, hoping the other person will die. This is big. It's big in the Christian life. Jesus said, this is the gospel, by the way. This is salvation. Samson said, we think, I'm not talking about going to heaven. I'm talking about God putting heaven in you while you're here. And I told you, I'm not, too much is focused on heaven and not Jesus. But forgiveness is the language of Jesus, is the language of heaven. I read this book, it was called The Devil in Church 2:7. I was Paul Campbell for my son there, and I heard this testimony of this girl. She grew up, the youngest girl, and had an older brother there. Her parents in the 60s went down south, godly couple, the book told about how they came together there. And this guy, they were calling in this church, and this guy was the richest guy in the town. He owned everything, even the church. His wife was on the board. And this godly man came in and started prying fingers off the church, trying to let God move in the church there. And they ended up shooting him. He crippled. You wouldn't believe what all went through, this hell that this couple went through. And he said, God called me here. Ain't no devil chasing me out. I'm telling you what that man went through. He went to an early death before it all. And later on, long story short, this woman's telling the story here, that later on that guy went to jail, and she calls later, and he says, will you forgive me? Will you forgive me? And we don't have it. With man, it's impossible to forgive. And God doesn't qualify what might happen in your life. What degree of forgiveness? If you're raping of a wife, if you're murdering a child, this is not an option. You must forgive. You must forgive if you want to be forgiven. So the Lord, it's a dangerous prayer He's teaching in Matthew chapter 6. What you're saying there, it's dangerous because Lord, use the same standard on me that I'm using on others. So if I forgive others, God's going to forgive me. If I don't forgive others, I'm not going to be forgiven. So Jesus is on the cross. He said, and Mel Gibson, he came pretty close to what Jesus. His beard was plucked out, and he was beaten beyond recognition. And he was mistreated. He's a pattern son. And he said, Father, forgive them. We missed one in the translation, but actually it says, Father, forgive them. And Father, forgive them. Father, over and over again, he said, Father, forgive them. Father, forgive them. And I remember hearing the Greek, he said in the Greek here, what that means, when you really forgive somebody, you invite them back into your heart. I had somebody one time, somebody said, I'll forgive you, but I'll never forget. 5 years later, she says, I forgive you. And I thought, the bondage that she must have been in their heart. But it's a 24/7, they watch. Watch and pray you don't fall into temptation. It's so easy to get entangled with the affairs of this life. Paul tells Timothy, be a good soldier. Don't get caught in the affairs of this life here. Don't get caught in this stuff, Be very careful. If being a soldier, to be obedient, where your rank is. God uses a builder in the scriptures. He uses a farmer. He uses a soldier. All these. He says, throw off every weight. And sin is so easily entangles you. Weights. Weights. It didn't say sin there. It said weight. We can put weight on it. So that's not sin, but they're weights. The Lord wants us to get rid of it. If you run, you're not going to put weight jackets on if you're running a race. Any runner I've seen, you dress light. So the more baggage I get off, and I heard pre race in Bulgaria, every 50 yards, you had a woman. I said, is this who I think it is? Yeah. Harlots were every 50 yards or whatever. You just pull off to the senior, go in the weeds there. But I'm just saying, in this race here, with all these things, they're trying to sidetrack us. And in spirit, you must be like this. We need to wake up. We need to wake up, be alert. There's no time to take a break. Even David. If it happened to David in the scriptures there, Oswald Chambers says, where you've seen any man fall, the same potential's in you. Don't you think it is? But it's we must forgive. We must forgive. It's big. It's all throughout Scripture. Job. I know it's a book about suffering, but Job, a subtitle of that could have been about a book of forgiveness. All the story, and all the friends come against them, the religious friends. They were for all in God. They weren't novices. But they came within the book, and God had done a work in Job's heart. We're elevating God, not Job. But I mean, what God can do in man is that Job was perfect and upright. That was a present heart attitude. But I like at the end of that book there, God says to his friends, and I want you to go, my servant Job's going to pray for you. And it says, when Job could have said, well, when Zophar came, he'd say, no way. I saw your smirk. When I was down in the kitchen, I'll never forgive you. No way. But God did a work in Job's life there. And when his friends came, God says when he prayed for his friends, God prospered him. And God prospered him. And he was given some gold from his family and some other things, some riches. To me, that's riches. When you continue to keep this attitude, Father, forgive them. Father, forgive them. And we've had to do it. I mean, we through all last even. I'm just going to say, you have to have this attitude. Father, forgive them. Father, forgive them. And this is salvation. Samson, who was a picture of a godly man, who was called of God from the womb. But he kept seeking revenge. I don't know what his last name is, but it could be revenge. But he said at the end of his life, as he was caught, God never intended that for him. I didn't say he didn't go to heaven, but he never obtained the salvation of God. He same posture of Jesus, and out of his heart he said, Lord, help me to push these pillars out that I may get even with these pillars that are popping on my eyes. Salvation is God putting his heart in you. Lay not Stephen, he's full of the Holy Spirit, not half. This is salvation. Health, wealth, soundness in here. In here. And a lot of that's not taught. I mean, Christian, a lot of functions and problems, and all these devices, and people, Christians, I've seen it, I've grown up with it. I'm not going to go any further than that, but just, we need to guard our hearts. It's important. I worked at the airport where they had an armored truck there, and on the side, they were getting money from the airport there, and planes to D.C., and they had armed guards watch the money coming off, and they had on the side of the armored truck safeguarding vehicles. So we must, are you a Christian who's right now upright in your heart? See, Job was an upright, perfect man in his heart. Now, he wasn't perfected yet. See, we think that word was full. We're deceived as Christians. We think, I'm saved, I'm going to heaven, I'm life. Well, then why all the warnings that John says he commanded you to walk in the light? But all in 1 John, look at it. He said, he that hates his brother, he can say he's in the light. See, you can say a lot of things, but what's going on in the heart? He that says he's in the light means he's probably in the dark even until now. And then it says in verse 11 there about being in darkness, walks in darkness, don't know where he's going. That's Saul. You talk about Saul, a digression, whatever the word is, a regressing. He comes to the end looking for direction there and says, Lord's left me. Deceived. He's looking for a witch to tell him about his future. He never comes into God's salvation. What's going on here? Keep yourself pure. A man visited one room schoolhouse one time, and before he left that one room schoolhouse, he said, I'm going to give a prize when I come back to the one who's got the cleanest desk. And Johnny opens his mouth and he raises his hands, I'm going to win that prize. And the girl Betsy in the front said, you're not going to win that prize. He said, I'm going to keep my desk clean every Monday. And Betsy said, yeah, you may come on Friday. Johnny said, well, I'll keep it clean Monday and Friday. And Betsy said, well, he going to come on Wednesday. And he said, well, forget it. I'm going to keep it clean provided a way that your heart can be clean all the time. I didn't say perfected yet. Job was not perfected yet because God was going to work through him when he went through the fire. But presently, at that time there, when that book opened up, God had done a work and said he was perfect. His heart was right. He was upright. Look at the psalm. We're looking at a few verses there where they were upright. They were pure in heart, blameless. You know, I remember I've said before, I told my friend, I'm confessing all the time. He said, you're growing. The awareness of your heart. The awareness of your heart. Let's go to Luke. Look at some of these scriptures here. Luke chapter 1. Luke chapter 1, verse 68. This is a prophecy of Zacharias. This is the salvation God brings us. Luke chapter 1, starting verse 68. It says, blessed be the Lord God of Israel, for he hath visited and redeemed his people. He hath raised up a horn of salvation for us in the house of his servant David, as he spoke by the mouth of the holy prophets, which have been since the world began. Verse 71, that we should be saved from our enemies and from the hand of all that hate us. Well, how are we saved from all our enemies and all that hate us? We're saved because we don't hate them back. We don't hate them back. We're living the overcoming life. I said before, growing in Christ isn't so much being bold on street corners. Growing in Christ is overcoming things that normally would defeat us. You get a phone call, oh, done for the week. Oh, so when he strengthened you, mighty inner man, and you get that phone call and you say, oh, that doesn't move. Paul says, nothing moves me. It says in Hebrews, if God wants us to receive a kingdom that cannot be shaken, the kingdom of God is not the kingdom of God is in you. That's his character. You must be born again to see the kingdom. You must go through much tribulation to enter the kingdom of God. The kingdom of God is his character. They said to Jesus, where's the kingdom at? He said, it doesn't come by observation. The kingdom of God is in you. The kingdom of God is in you. This is the covenant, verse 52, the promise to your fathers. Verse 74, that he would grant unto us that he be delivered out of the hand of our enemies, might serve with reverent fear. Verse 75, in holiness and righteousness before him all the days of our life. In holiness, be holy as I'm holy. That's the call of the gospel. Be holy because be perfect as your heavenly Father is perfect. Be perfect. Let us move on toward perfection, Hebrews says. Let's put aside the early steps, the ABCs, and the baptisms and all the little, that's not saying you have to throw away the ABCs. Let's move on toward perfection. Consider Jesus. Consider looking unto him. They got sidetracked on all this other stuff here. In holiness and righteousness, and all I can say is living right. In your heart, you're right. You're right. You're not falling over. He looks at the heart. In Sardis there, in Revelation there, many had sold their clothes, but a few still walk with me in white. But he's not condemning them. He's saying, repent. Be an overcomer. While we're there, every time I hit Luke 2, verse 34. Look at Luke 2, verse 34. There's a gem here I don't want you to miss. This is a prophecy. Joseph and Mary is taking the baby into Hannah and Simeon. Simeon prays a blessing over them, verse 34. On Luke chapter 2, verse 34. And Simeon blessed them and said unto Mary his mother, behold, this child is set for the fall and rising again of many in Israel, and for a sign which shall be spoken against. I heard this spoke here Christmas Day by a man of God. This was years ago, and it's stuck. The Spirit of God, he breathes on his word. I'm just a newspaper boy. It's the Spirit of God is alive and well. But when I heard this in spirit, I thought, Christmas Day, it's a Christmas message. He said, this is one of the main reasons Jesus came. One of the reasons he came. One of the reasons. Verse 35, yeah, a sword shall pierce through thy own soul also. This is what I want to see. That the thoughts of many hearts may be revealed. Why did Jesus come? That the thoughts of many hearts shall be revealed. Although it's painful at times, not like my brother here. Brother Tony here says, Glenn, you hit me right between the eyes at one time. You know, but you know, it's good because that's what the Word is. It adjusts us. You know, He has to show us where I'm like Him, so that I can confess that, so I can be like Him. So don't shrink back. The Spirit of God is to enlighten our darkness. It's personal revelation. The greatest revelation I've ever had is my own heart. But see, the world is blind, and even Christians, if they're not walking in the light, in thy light they shall see light, as the psalmist says. But see, the blessed are the pure in heart, they see God. We're in everything, every circumstance, because their hearts look right. They're upright, they're righteous in Him. You know, so when God shows you you're unlike Him, you just confess it, Lord. That's the reason God needs outward religion. He wants a relationship, because in the relationship He takes away sin. As Enoch walked with God, he kept agreeing with God. Enoch, you got sinner. Yes, Lord, I do. I confess that. He kept walking with Him. Going a little further, He not forgives the Lord. Enoch said, I'm going to, you guys, I'm making righteous judgment here, Enoch. You've got unforgiveness towards his brother, towards his brother here. Didn't exchange the money correctly. Oh, I confess it. I agree with you, Lord. I'm going to make that thing right. You're walking in white again with Him. So you're walking with Him. Can two walk together unless they be in agreement? This is walking with God. Not by going to church, although that's involved. You're walking with Him. Are you still walking with Him? Are you still walking in white? Do you keep agreeing with Him? If you confess your sin, that's our part. That's all we can do. If we confess our sins, Lord, I bloated again. You understand where you ever blow it so? Yeah. Lord, I confess my attitude. I confess it. Keep agreeing with Him. He wanted to make me mold and shape me. This. I don't know anything else. This is the path. This is the walk, the Christian walk. This is why the anointing was on the Apostle Paul, because he kept his heart right before God and all that. He kept walking with the Lord. I like it, Song of Solomon. It's a love relationship. He goes out and he says, oh, she's becoming more and more beautiful. The church, she's got no spot in her. James is talking about not having spots. You all confess it. Confess your sins. And I like it around Christmas time here, I catch different things. It says, Jesus came to save His people from their sin. Did you catch that? Jesus came to save His people from their sins. He's still doing that. He's still saving His people. This might be the one from my sins. Did you ever think when you invited Jesus into your life, what an ugly place you would invite Him into? When He comes in, He rolls His sleeves up and He says, hey, I'm good. Thanks for... I'll put the child. Let's go. Let's go. He who began a good work in you, He'll perform it. He does all the work. It's His work. This is God's work. The more I go, I see it like it's God's work. I can't change myself. All I can do is agree with Him, confess my sins. Lord, my attitude. You know, this here, I agree with Him. And He's changing me along the way. It's God's work. He who began a good work, Paul could preach that because he was a murderer. He was a killer of Christians. But he says, I'm confident in this very thing. He's done the work in me. I know He'll do it in you. And the disciples were all the best, calling fire down on His wicked, They were all best, but as they kept responding to Him and kept repenting and kept confessing their sins, John said, we've tasted the life we want you to taste it. What we see and hear, we declare unto you that you may have life. This is how you come into this life, this abundant life. Jesus said, I've come you might have life, might have more abundant. So it's well, I'm going to share a few more here. Let's go to Proverbs 28. word walketh is present tense. Whoever walketh uprightly shall be saved. So what this is saying is, whoever is walking uprightly. Does that mean you're perfected? No. That means you're presently, if you confess all your sins, you're walking with Him right now. And as you continue to walk with Him in white, whoever walketh, it's an inward walk. It has nothing to do if you made the church on Sunday or not, and I hope you go. He that walketh, whoever walketh uprightly, shall come into this wholeness and soundness and wellness in you. This is salvation. This is His character being put in yours. Where are you? God had a relationship with Adam. He wasn't asking for a physical location. He said, where are you, Adam? He wasn't saying, well, you behind a tree here somewhere? I can't find you. He's saying, where are you at spiritually? He's trying to wake him up, get back in a relationship. It doesn't seem like he ever did. Adam broke that. He got tempted out of the way. He got sidetracked. Maybe you can see as God sees. Get it now. Keep your relationship three orders. Relationship, revelation, representation. Keep your relationship will give you revelation, insight. You'll see things. And you'll be a representative correctly for the three orders. My son Brad back there, Mrs. Westbrook is a teacher. I thought it was fantastic. He was about, I don't know, 6th, 7th grade. When we went to a parent-teacher meeting, and it was, I thought it was, if I see her today, I'd still encourage her with that, but we said the Christian school, and we walked in there, and she looked over to Brad, and we started the meeting. He said, Brad, how you doing spiritually? And I knew exactly what he said, but we talked about it, it was a good time. We barely got out that door, and he looked at me, he said, she was kind of nosy, wasn't she? I said, no, she cared about you. Where are you, Christian? Where are you now, spiritually? Are you the Lord's? Are you on the Lord's side, or are you bowing down to a golden calf? The majority out there, I see it. I can't help but I see some things, the interest of the, many leave their first love. And I say that, I need to guard my heart. Guard my heart. Sin separates you from the Lord. Don't have, we said this on our church, nothing between my soul and my Savior, nothing between. Are you walking in white? Paul tells Timothy, keep yourself pure. Well, I got saved, brother. I got the light. I'm walking in white. And I didn't get this until I went to Bible school down there. I thought you were saved, born again. You got the light. The rest of your life, you're in the light. You're the white inside. But read the Bible. All these things here. While the warning's in, take heed to yourself that you don't have an evil heart of unbelief, Hebrews 3:12, in departing from the living God. They were departing from the living God. Are you alive, Christian? You've gone outside the land. You're dead. So wake up. I think I heard Steve Green's wife, Jerry, say in the message, she's saying, all my tears, she lost her husband, great man, was gone, and his son passed away. And she said, I hope through my tears, will help bring you back from the dead, bring life to you. At least she's relating that to the Christians. So, it's no good thing will He withhold from those who walk as uprightly. We read these songs, who are they to? It's God's people. God's people. Let's go to Psalm 32. A few more scriptures here. Psalm 32. That song again, it gives your heart right with God. Why did the writer write that then? We're all right automatically. Where are we going? Thanks for coming and listening to preach to myself. I'm preaching to me. The constant watch. Be glad in the Lord and rejoice, ye righteous. Be glad in the Lord, be right, and rejoice, ye righteous. So look for these words in the Psalms. Pure in heart, blameless, righteous, and I relate to being right. Oh, you right. Be glad, all you who are right, and shout for joy, all you that are saved. Does it say that? Or all you that are Christians? Look, all that are upright in heart. Why is the writer saying that? This is verse chapter 1, 33. Rejoice in the Lord, O ye righteous, for praise is company. It just comes out for the upright. For the upright. So, walking in Him. Walking in Him. Who can abide in my hill? Who can, he that is clean hands and pure heart. It doesn't give a soul of vanity and all. What's that mean? Who can abide on my holy hill? He that has clean hands and pure heart. He's not, he gives a list there. See the wicked is totally different. You follow the Lord, like most of us that follow the Lord for a while, you see some things. I can't help but see you're sitting there. I see some things. And the wicked in the scriptures are not the wicked who I thought they were as I'm studying this. Psalm 1 verse 6, the Lord knows the way of the righteous. He knows the way of the righteous. But the way of the ungodly shall perish. Now, if I'm not careful, I can be ungodly towards my wife. We read these words ungodly because, it's some sinner out there. Isn't it nice we love to sing that song, Amazing Grace, sweet and sound to save a wretch like me? But yet, we don't want to give any grace to any other wretches out there. But the way of the ungodly shall perish. I don't believe that means going to hell there. It means loss, ruin, destruction. Don't shipwreck your faith. Paul told Timothy, he named two of them. He named many of them for Timothy. Why? I'm a preaching pattern of work because I was teaching on Timothy, and it's all through the book. Of all the things that sidetracks the Christian. Some are after end times there. Some are shipwrecked their faith. When you think of shipwreck, what's that mean? Ruin, destruction, brokenness. They're not continuing on. They've stopped. They've stopped. They're not continuing. The Scripture says continue in the faith. Paul went around the second time in Acts 14 on a missionary journey. He says, brothers, continue in the faith. That it's through much tribulation you're in the kingdom of God. If there's no stopping, why is the word continue in there? Continue, brothers. David continued in the faith after. I like that Bulgarian pastor we had when we were overseas. He said, good, stay green, stay green, stay green. Don't stop, stay green. Many stop along the way. Like I said, I think I'm going to stop there. But, Psalm 55. It's a psalm that whenever I went through a church situation a number of years ago, the Lord really opened it up. We really don't, we think we know things in our head many times, but until you go through some things in the Lord, He's able to open up some scripture to you. But Psalm 55 is a psalm there that David is going through a lot of problems. He said the wicked are in the midst of the city. They're in the midst here, and he says if it was an unbeliever, I could receive it. If it was someone that, but I used to walk together with this brother. We used to share scriptures back and forth, and we used to sing scriptures, and now he's my enemy. He's the wicked. The wicked are coming against me. I began to see some things over the years. Can I share some secrets with you? My greatest battle in the Christian life, the things I went through, is not against the unsaved world. loving Him, if you sin, like I said, sin sticks us to a chair. It's more than just a sinner's prayer. But when we don't guard our heart, we're in bondage. We're like stuck. I told you about that skip. We're in bondage and we don't know how to get out. We go to a psychiatrist, psychologist. God's the greatest psychologist, psychiatrist there is. He studies the mind of the heart. When He loves you and He cares for you, He's got a purpose and a plan for your life. But see, you don't plan a purpose for your life. You have to surrender your ways and go His way. You have to follow the owner's manual. You have the owner's manual in the glove box. You follow that owner's manual, you change your oil, you take care of it, your car's going to run for you, your truck's going to run for you. But if we neglect it many times, I've neglected it many. Had some, a lot of times with a car, I found out it's many times the owner's error. Many times I saw Nathan and didn't do anything about it. So are we following the Lord? Are we wholeheartedly following Him? Are we surrendering to His path, His way? Is your heart right with God? I don't know, is that song in there, Mike? Is your heart right with God? But where are you tonight? I know everybody here I believe can say, are you walking with Him? Do you have any unforgiveness in your heart? Again, if I hate that person I'm working with, that neighbor, it doesn't hurt him. It destroys me. It's like I heard a story with this, it's a made-up story, but this guy was getting punched in the stomach a lot. He said, I'm going to fix that guy. He got a big trench coat on, he loaded himself with dynamite. He said, the next time that guy punches me in the stomach, I'm going to get him. I'm going to get him good. And, you're going to blow yourself up. But the Lord wants us to come into His heart. We can't forgive people in themselves. You don't know what I've been through. You don't know what I've done. You know what my husband did to me. You know what this happened. No, I don't, but I know Him. I know He enables you to overcome your situation, yourself. And, I know about the Lord the last 2 years. We went to our daughter, going to be with the Lord, 38 years old. I know about trouble. I know about problems. You couldn't tell me anything would shock me, but I'm telling you, the Lord enables us to walk in the water. Still a lot of tears. Still a lot of pain. But the Lord there's no other answer. Your answer is not to go to some place to get dried out. The answer is Jesus. Run to Him. There was a guy at work that he kept telling me about his big book. He was an alcoholic, and he kept telling me about his big book, and I kept directing him to Jesus. He said, well, you know Jesus? Well, I know the higher power. I know the big book of Jesus. I said, big book in the answer. The Bible's not even the answer. Jesus is the answer. It's good to get to know the author of the Bible. That's what the whole Bible is intended to bring me in a relationship with Him. The religious leaders, they search the Scriptures. Jesus said, you search the Scriptures, but they're speaking of me. It's not a program, a 12-step that's going to get you out of your problem. It's Jesus is the answer. It's nothing else that can save us from ourselves. Salvation, God saved me from me. I've destroyed myself. But all these things, all these ways here. But this guy, I made a mistake recently. I said he walked away from his job. And the guy worked correctly. He said he didn't walk away from the job. He was forced out. Not forced out, I mean his own choices let him out of a good job, a good mechanic's job. I witnessed him. He prayed to receive Christ. I never saw any evidence of it. So you can pray with people. It's a kind of a heart. My job is to preach and to pray and whatever it is God needs me to do. That's only one side of it. It's you have to receive it. You have to receive the word. You have to walk in it. Like I told you about that guy, that little boy. I was bringing Brad and Mo home from Wednesday night church. And I was telling about how when I was 13 years old, I accepted Jesus in youth camp. And I was I got saved. And I was telling my testimony as I was bringing kids home from church. This is 30 years ago. And I heard him say something like, I'm going home to do that. And there was a lot of kids in the car, and I said, what was that? No, he said, no, nothing. He got out of the car, and I said to Brad, I said, what did he say? He said, I'm going in the house, and I'm going to do that. See, the last words Jesus' mother said on the earth, his last words recorded by Mary was a wedding of Canaan. She said, whatever He tells you to do, do it. Whatever He tells you to do it. That Nike slogan, just do it. seeking other counselors, seeking the Lord. And He's all you need. And I'm thankful that I know Him. I thank Him I've had the teachers I've had. And I want to proclaim and share that there's hope. But the hope is not in things out here. There's some kind of programs. It's in the person of Jesus Christ. He can change you. He can go and shape your life. You've got to start with you. Many times I went to work, I met this guy, he was different than any other Christian, John Stahl. I'd say, my wife's doing this. I'm going way back, and he kept holding the mirror up. Now, I didn't want to look at it, and I realized it was me. See, I'm more worried about him. That's God comes to Adam, and Adam said, it's the wife you gave me. For years I thought he was blaming his wife. He said, it's the wife you gave me. But see, God there are emotions out of the mouth. Aaron, how did these people get? You know how the people are. It's the blame game. It's the person you gave me, my parents you gave me, it's my husband you gave me. No, David came to a place that I'm the man. You have to start with yourself. I'm the man. I'm the person. Start with me. And you go from me, and the Lord works in your life, and He works out through you to touch other people's life. Like I was saying earlier, starting out, the majority of my daily life is around the unbelieving world. You buy and sell at the store, you go to work, and you neighborhood, and it's how are you living? What do they sing? What do they sing? So that scripture I used last week, I'm going to close this. It says, "Sing, you have purified your hearts." How? By obeying the truth. Through the Spirit. I'm not teaching something you do on yourself. But see, you need help. But it's in these places, and we talk to guys in jail, God may be saying to me, the guy I go to church with, and he said, it's good that he's in jail because it stopped him from killing himself. So God wants to sit us down to teach us another way. And I love the guys in jail. We preach and share the word and love them up, but our own choices. Insanity is you keep doing the same thing expecting different results. Well, I'm going to do the same thing. Things will be different. No, it won't. If you keep doing the same things, you're going to get the same results. It's not rocket science. It's just the way it is. Are you leading your life, or is God leading your life? David says, it's not in me to direct my steps. The Lord's my shepherd. He's leading and guiding me. If your life's a mess today, it's because you're in charge. I told you my grandson was 4 years old. He's not here today, but I was scolding him, and this was 4 or 5 years ago, and he said, "You're not the boss of me." I couldn't believe it. I couldn't believe it. Then I said, "Where did you learn that from?" I said to myself, and I realized it's in all of us. We all want to run our own life. I'm speaking to me here. I'm not speaking to you. I'm speaking to me. We all want to run our own life. But we need to yield. Pennsylvania drivers don't like to yield, Mike. Ohio drivers, they seem to know more about that than us. Yield. Yield means you give way to another. Are you living your life, or are you living the life of Christ? Have you committed your life to Him? Not just say a sinner's prayer and it's going to go on. You've got to work this out. You've got to walk with Him. You've got to be around us. We're here every other Friday. Continue to come. The Lord has shown me too much about me. I need Him. I need Him in my life. Have you ever made that commitment to the Lord? Where are you at tonight? In your heart, I'm talking. I know you're here. I know you're here. Where are you in your heart? That's what God's looking at. He's not looking at the outer appearance. He's looking at your heart. When we're walking this way, repentance doesn't stop at it, even after we said the sinner's prayer. We're walking this way. Repentance means I'm going your way. I'm asking for forgiveness. I'm totally going your way. There's a change that takes place. So I beg you tonight to give Him. I tell the guys in jail, you see where your choices brought you. Give Him a chance. We ask them, how many of you have been saved? And have them raise their hand before you got in jail. How many of you have been saved? How many of you have been influenced by grandmothers or whoever went to church? Why are you in jail? And I'm not throwing stones. I'm trying to encourage them. I'm trying to tell them, you're Bible. Your life is Bible. Don't tell me, well, I'm just me and I'm not hurting anybody. Your life is Bible. Jesus died on the cross for you. Your life has meaning and purpose.